Here we are at a van. That's right, I said I was going to do another video as soon as we picked up our caravan. So it's been a long time. Caravan, it's been a long time coming. There it is right behind me. We've got the check in our pocket. We're going to go in, we're going to pay for it. And then I can really start doing all the YouTube videos on how this 300 series of mine tows. So that should be good. Yeah, there it is there. First look. Not bad. Got it up the driveway of hell. Actually, it wasn't too bad. Considering caravan parks don't give you much room anyway, I think navigating it up this driveway to that spot there wasn't actually too bad. I would have loved it if it fit under the carport. I didn't think it was, so I might actually have to lift that up. But anyway, first drive, no stability control. Down the freeway, yeah, it's pretty good. We've got our caravan and 300 series. Now, the problem with the 300 series that a lot of people have found is this is meant to be a semi-off-road van. So I got the off-road tow hitch, which is way too high. So then I went, okay, I'll buy the road tow hitch for road vans, which is also a little bit too high. So I've jumped on my supply list, found Tag do one that's an adjustable. We don't live on flat land, so I've got to take this somewhere flat so we can level it out, have a look and see which is going to be the best setup and appropriate for us, for our weight, for the caravan, and yeah, basically to get it nice and level, because that's what you don't want. You don't want it pitched like that, you don't want it pitched forward like that, you want it flat. So we're going to go do that now. Yeah, so when we rocked up, I had like 10 PSI. So like the bare minimum you want to kind of have. Actually, it's probably a little bit below the bare minimum you want to have in the back of the airbags on the 300. I've pumped up to 50 PSI, which is lift up the rear end of the 300 series to get that, what I think is nice and level. And I thought that visually, and we put a level on it, bang on level. So we're on pretty straight ground here. It is sort of rolling away sort of that way, but aside from that, I think we've got a pretty good setup. I mean, I guess the next thing is how's it going to drive? So we upgraded the suspension to the Bilsteins in my ZX. Now it does have from factory a upgraded version, which is the electronic adaptive suspension. It takes control over your suspension and tries to give you a level ride. Designed for comfort, in my personal opinion. Like, people rave about it, I think it's shit. The suspension that the ZX comes out with, if you hit a pothole or something like that, it does this weird thing where it actually rocks back and forth. So it's not left and right body roll, it's back and forth body roll. And I did a 6-hour trip, got out and had sea legs. On the Eastern Freeway, it was solid. There's a lot of road noise, but it felt pretty solid. This freeway's, more undulating. Yeah, and it does bounce around a fair. I have not liked it at all. So I've gone for the Bilstein upgrade. I haven't formed an opinion yet. I've done probably 1,000 Ks in it. It feels better so far driving from day to day. It's definitely got rid of all of that rolly experience. Airbags in the back. I've got the Bilsteins in it, pumped up to 50 PSI. We'll give it a crack and see how it goes. Welcome back. Now, I did go on a road test with the Tourer tow hitch, and then I came back to have a look to see if it settled. Unfortunately, the pitch changed a fair bit, and the A-frame of the caravan, by the time I got back from the road test, even with 50 PSI on those airbags, was hanging up like that. So I did have to, unfortunately, which was a pain in the ass because I really didn't want to do it on a Sunday, was hook up the Tag, as you can see here, the Tag tow hitch. And I've used the highest setting on the Tag, to give me the brake that I need to try and bring it back down to level. I don't want to go any lower with it. And I'll just flip the screen around a sec, but I don't want to go any lower because then I'm scared that I'm not going to be able to get into driveways and things like that. Taking it for a drive now, it feels so much, it's the best it's driven towing that caravan, 100%. You may also notice that I haven't crossed over the safety chains. It's because there's not enough length to cross over. It's frustrating. Like, hands down, from picking it up to bringing it back, and just driving around Dendral bits and pieces, it feels bang on. I'll show you what it looks like. So you can see it, if you really want to be super critical about it, it is just on a slight incline up, but overall the way it feels, the way it drives, I'm really happy with it. So yeah, I'll put up a link in the comments or something if you 300 series owners want to buy that tow hitch. I only got the tow hitch. I didn't buy there because the pin's extra. So the pin's extra, the tow ball's extra. Good thing with this tow hitch, it does come with a sleeve, so you can either use a 50mm tow ball or a 70mm tow ball. It's all really sort of straightforward. Get up, nothing, anyone could do it. But yeah, overall, really happy. Here we are the week before Christmas. And we've got Richo here sorting out the 300 series so I can take it away in January.
That's it.
I know, right? What are we doing?
To go, but I'm removing my old wiring. Phase 1 of the uni chip, now that the plug and play's been developed and installed, and you've driven it for what?
Months?
Yeah, so I'm just removing the phase 1 and leaving the plug and play on there. Then I'll do Anderson plugs for your new caravan.
Oh.
So you need 2,
Yep.
1 for your stability, 1 for your fridge.
Yep.
I think the rest of it's done. The brake controller's done. So, and then we're going to add some Bilsteins.
That's right. Yeah, so yeah, this is a Bilsteins and this is what's going to be happening, today. So nothing like leaving it to the last minute. It's like cramming for a test in high school.
Oh, mate, it's a Monday. We finished on Thursday, so you're not last minute like you normally are.
This should be done by Smoko. Standard shock removed. You see when you unplug the top of it because they are electronic and it just turns off the system, so you don't need to put any bridge or anything like that. We'll whack some tape over it so you don't get shit in there, because I'll keep all the standard stuff just in case the next person who buys this wants to put it all back in. But yeah, we're getting there. Now we've got the front and rear Bilstein struts all set up. She is ready to go and I can't wait to test her on the road and see how much better it drives. I'll report back. Night 1 over, so we're heading off now to Eden. So that was a good, it was a cozy 3-hour drive. It was so comfortable. Towed really, really, really well. Did have a little bit of a wobble, but I believe that it's 100% my stuff up in the way I loaded it. So I've just changed some of the weight distribution in the back of the van. The wobbles came up when I was doing about 110. So anything below that, it was fine. So we'll see how it goes. We left our free camp. We're headed straight up to Eden. Where our free camp was that night was on a dirt road. So we got to experience what it felt like driving on the dirt road with the Bilsteins. Up the highway. We also got detoured through some farmland and up around Marlow. So I really got to feel the responsiveness of the Bilstein and how it actually towed. If there was any excess body roll, if I still had that rocky forward and backwards. And how the kids felt, more importantly, as well, sitting in the back, whether they got out and they still felt car sick, because it was a huge issue that we had with the stock suspension. The 300 had never driven so good before. It was so well behaved, it stuck to the road, it didn't have any body roll, plus, and I cannot stress this enough, the addition of the Unichip ECU and the tune, and I sound like a salesman and I don't care, just makes life easier when you're towing. More power, more torque, it feels safer. It's seriously, if you've got $3,000 to spend, it is the best value for money modification that you can do to a 300 series Land Cruiser. It makes the car feel like the way it should when you pick it up from the factory. If you've ever sat in it, and there's some people who love the power, but if you're like me and you sat in it when you first drove it and you were underwhelmed, look up the Unichip, get it done. 100% best modification as far as acceleration, drivability, power and torque. Highly recommend it. Set up camp, and the very first thing we need to do is go see some of the sites and see what Eden has to offer. Plus, some of those sneaky little four-wheel drive tracks. Let's go. So, I am off-road for the first time in the LC300. It's really straightforward. I've selected the MTS Drive Mode Dirt. We're on some four-wheel drive tracks in New South. So, the power underfoot with the Unichip, it's given me plenty of torque in the bottom end. It feels actually really, really comfortable. Now, I've dropped Bilsteins into it as well, mainly for towing. Give you an idea of what we're going over. Oh, look, there's Chris in the twin turbo patrol just there. We're coming up. So I think I've made a really great combination for touring vehicle as far as fuel economy, comfort, driving. Just trying to get everything I can out of the LC300 without going over the top, and remembering 90% of the driving we do a year, it's a shopping cart. That's what it is. So I want it for that mainly, and then capable to do fun stuff like that, and the 10% of the chance that we get of the year to go away. I think we've done that well. So final thoughts on the package. If you are towing, the Bilsteins are definitely worth the money. Obviously pairing that with the rear airbags just make the whole thing so much more comfortable when you are towing. If you got the budget for it, do the DPF back exhaust. The Unichip, I'm going to sound like a salesman, but man, it completely changes the way the power is delivered. You have so much more power and torque in the bottom end that it makes the whole driving experience of the car so much more comfortable. But overtaking people, it just picks up and it just keeps on going. Purist, there's so many of them out there who believe that Toyota's done a wonderful job with this car. In my opinion, you know, they've dropped the ball on so many things, you know, from obviously the legroom, boot space, so many things that you can complain about. There's so many things that I love about it as well. So I love the interior in the front, the cockpit, all of that sort of stuff. I didn't like the factory power and torque. I do like that now. It tows really well. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, share it with your friends if you enjoy it. Thanks guys.